And welcome back to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger joined by John Chapman. We're doing a mock draft a couple days before day one of the NFL draft. We're not even going full screen. I'm putting myself aside. I'm showing everybody the John Chapman full screen. We're going off the Pro Football Focus mock draft. There's a bunch of different simulators that you can choose from. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. But John, before we get rolling, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
I'm a little kid ready for Christmas, and we've got 9 presents minimum that the 49ers are going to get open this weekend at the NFL draft, and I could not be more excited. You got the Deebo narrative. You got the Jimmy G narrative. This is crazy. I've never had this much, I guess, volatility before a draft where we don't even have a first-round pick currently, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited.
Well, I wonder if John Lynch can force a trade the way I can force a trade on these mock drafts. Why don't we start before you start running that thing down? And the Niners right now are not slated to pick on Thursday night. They're supposedly going to pick on Friday night, towards the end of Friday night. Their highest pick is right now listed at 61. But as you said, we don't know what's going on with Deebo. We don't know what's going on with Jimmy. We don't know if there'll be any other trades of any kind. So the beauty of this mock draft is we can do whatever we want.
Let's get crazy.
So let's get right into it. I'm going to make the decisions today, and you're going to run the mock, and let's see what we can come up with, and let's see if we can be like Kyle and John.
Right.
You can be Kyle, and you have lots of opinions. And I'll be John, and the draft is my baby. No.
If that's the case, we got to ask before we start this draft. We keeping Deebo or are we trading Deebo? What's happening here?
I knew that was coming up, and well, why don't we start our conversation? Because I know we have somewhat of a time limit today, because we don't want to take any eternity, because I know you got other stuff coming up. I got my kids' JV baseball game coming up this afternoon.
I love it.
Beautiful weather out here on the West Coast, John. Why don't we go with our impressions of the presser? And why don't we start there, and then we'll get into some trades, and then we'll get into the draft. Why don't you go first? Give me your thoughts on what you took away from John Lynch's presser, because I've talked to a dozen people who are all hardcore Niner fans, and John, I swear to you, I have out of those dozen people, I would say maybe there's like 8 different takeaways from that presser. What did you get out of it?
The thing that stood out to me most, Larry, was the quote was, I cannot imagine a situation where we walk away from Deebo. Like, I can't imagine it. And that was after he said like 5 times in a row, I'm not going to talk about Deebo. And then he went with that. To me personally, just my own personal take, I cannot find the narrative, and I could be way wrong on this, where you allow Laken Tomlinson to leave, Alex Mack probably going to retire, and you're going to trade Deebo away and then move in Trey Lance. What are you doing? You got to be able to bring something to make the whole Trey Lance transition work. And I think trading Deebo Samuel is a negative in that whole spurn. I don't see it. So that's what I wouldn't be shocked if they got a crazy offer that they couldn't walk away from, but I don't think they're going to trade him. My bet right now, Deebo stays on the 49ers.
Okay. That's interesting. My takeaway is that I don't think that John Lynch likes being grilled about Deebo Samuel.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think that the 49ers think that the Deebo trade talks make them look particularly good or advance their cause in any way, shape, or form. I think they are reluctantly involved in the Deebo trade talks. And my read on it was the opposite, John. My read was the Niners would love to make this thing go away. Yeah. And John had the media right there in the palm of his hand. And he could have looked everybody in the eye and said, hey, folks, thanks for coming. As Steve Keim said the other day with Kyler Murray, to squash those rumors, Kyler ain't going anywhere. And John, I think, could have easily said, hey, guys, Deebo ain't going anywhere. So let's just put that out of everybody's mind. He's not going anywhere. We're not trading him. So throw your questions my way.
Yeah.
We can talk about Jimmy. We can talk about priorities. We can talk about how I view this draft. But I don't want to talk about Deebo. And Deebo isn't going anywhere. But he didn't say that. And to me, the fact that he did not say that when he could have said that tells me that he is going somewhere, and that he wants to put this to bed. And all of his lines were like, hey, how do you trade this kind of player? I don't think he wants to, but I read that as posturing for a better offer. And if you really wanted to say that you weren't going to trade him, you absolutely could have come out and said, folks, I know there's a lot of talk. I know there's a lot of smoke. Trust me. I know I'm a good trusted source. He ain't going anywhere. I'm not trading this player. End of
Yeah, it didn't happen.
end of discussion. We're on to what's up with Jimmy, what's up with the O-line, what's up with Mac, you know what I'm saying? He didn't say that. So how do you come to grips with that and think he's staying, but John Lynch wouldn't say so?
I think two things. One, he did talk about immediately after that, yeah, they listen to offers on everybody, and they will continue to do so, which I like.
Okay.
And I think that's a good
It's a good
stance to have as a
philosophy.
team.
Yep.
You get
Yeah.
5 first-round of picks, you'll trade almost anybody. But the idea is this: the 49ers do all of their extensions in the training camp period, which is genius from negotiating tactic, because if they want to hold out then, sorry, man, we can't trade you. We can't get any picks to help our team now. Sorry, it just doesn't work out. So the way I saw it, and again, this is just my own, dumb opinion.
No, but you're on it. I mean, I would call you, I would say you're an informed opinion. So continue.
I would say by them not even engaging in that, you're not giving Deebo more ammunition before the draft. Because if Deebo does not get traded before until the draft, if the draft's over, Deebo's not going anywhere. What little leveraging power he has, he's got 2 days. And so by John Lynch getting up there and saying, you know what, we're not trading him no matter what, then Deebo has 2 days to say, well, all right, I don't want to do it. I'm whatever. So just, you know what? Let's just politician this thing. Let's just not talk about it. Maybe it just, slides a little bit under, but we'll see, because we got 48 hours, baby. And we're going to find out pretty dang as soon as that 10th pick. Actually, I want to be honest with you. As soon as the 18th pick, that second pick of the Eagles passes and Deebo's on our team, I'm telling you right there, that's where I'm saying, all right, Deebo's not going anywhere.
You'll be throwing your Vegas Deebo party. Why don't you tell people, actually, before we get rolling here, what you got going in Vegas? Because I know you got a couple spots open, and if we can help you fill those spots, we want to. Tell people what you got cooking on your channel, and if they want to get involved, how they can do it.
Yeah, I love it, man. We read it out a very order, and Elijah Mitchell. How great is it going to be if they're going to be live on the broadcast as we do days 1 and day 2? If one of those trades go down whenever we got one of them on the mic, it's just going to be incredible. So if you want to meet, greet, party with 2 49ers legends during the NFL draft, come on out. You can get your tickets at 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Still got a couple spots together, day 1 and day 2. It's going to be awesome. We've got an awesome crowd coming out. Really, really excited about it. It's going to be a good time.
It sounds like it's going to be a good time. I'm jealous, man. I wish I could get out there myself. All right, let's get right into it now. I think the wide receiver position is a diva position. I think many of these guys have diva traits, and they're either being disrespected, or they celebrate too much, or they're not focused enough, or there's this or there's that. They're unhappy. The club's unhappy. They rub somebody wrong. Something, and you see this around the league. The Steelers may wind up trading Chase Claypool this weekend. Why? Because he over-celebrated on a key third down in a game late in the year, and there may be some maturity issues. The New York Giants are looking to trade Kadarius Toney. Why? Well, same thing. Maturity issues, rub people the wrong way, diva-like personality, whatever. And then you've got the 49ers with Deebo, and you got Tennessee with A.J. Brown, and you may have some others I'm not thinking of. So I look at it as that goes with the territory, and you got to be able to roll with the punches, and you got to be able to find value and offload and not personalize all these things and don't have it tear apart your football team. So because the 49ers, John, my read on the Niners situation with Deebo is that they are at an impasse, that Deebo wants close to the market value, which he views himself as a top-tier wide receiver. And I think his agent probably thinks market value is $70 million guaranteed. I don't think the 49ers are coming within a country mile of that, and
No,
I
I
think
don't
they
think so
know
either.
that. So we have a good, and I don't see either side really backing down. And I don't even know that I want an unhappy Deebo. Do I want to invest let's say I'm Parag and I could force Deebo to take my price and I can get him for, I don't know, 55 million guaranteed. I don't want him at 55 million guaranteed if he doesn't want to run the ball. And I don't want him at 55 million guaranteed if he's not thrilled to be here. So I think this is an impasse, and I am trading Deebo. I am moving off of Deebo. Okay. And I'm not just and then I don't want to replace Deebo with rookies. So I'm making 3 trades at the beginning of this, maybe 4. I'm making 4 trades
I love
actually
this.
at the beginning of this draft. I'm trading Deebo to the Jets. I'm getting the 10th pick, and I'm getting their 2 third-round picks.
2 third-rounders. So 69.
Excuse me. 2 second-rounders. I'm
So
getting
10, 35, 38?
Yep. I'm getting 10, 35, and 38 for Deebo. I wanted 2 1s, but you know what? They don't have 2 1s, and I want all the picks in this year's draft, so I'm willing to take those 2 2s. So Deebo to the Jets for 10, 35, and 38. That's trade number 1.
Can I put my hat on for the Jets real quick and say, hey, man, we want Deebo. We'll get it. Can you throw us back some day 3 picks? Can you throw us something back? Or Larry, you're saying no? We need some picks back.
I'll throw you a 6th-round pick in 2023.
All right. Oh, in 2023.
Yeah,
we don't have a 6th-round pick in 2023. We got a 5th and 2 7ths.
Okay. I'll trade you a 7th in 2023.
All right. Man, you drive a hard bargain, my friend.
I do.
So we're going to force this trade. All right. So 10, 35,
trade.
38. They get Deebo in next year's 7th. All right. We're forcing the trade, baby. There it is.
Now we're moving Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now we're moving Jimmy Garoppolo. And what we want for Jimmy Garoppolo is we're sending him to the Steelers.
Oh.
And we're also going to give the Steelers our 61st pick overall.
This goes in order of the draft. It's not alphabetical. There he is. Pick 20. Okay, so they're getting Jimmy
Garoppolo, and they're getting 61. And I'm getting Chase Claypool, and I'm getting 20.
Oh, and 20. We're getting
20
their first
and Claypool.
Too. Oh.
20 and Claypool for Jimmy and my late 2nd.
Okay, so we've got Claypool and their 20. Man, that's another 1st-round pick. You are going off the charts here, my friend. I love it.
Yeah.
Forcing this trade. Goodell has no choice. That's 2 trades. This is going to be the greatest mock draft ever.
And I've got a 3rd trade. I'm going what do I have for picks this year? Right now
Now you have 10, 20, 35, 38, 93, 105. That is 6 picks, 2 in each round.
Which pick is the 5th round?
5th round, we start 187. I think that's still 6. 134 should be there, if I'm not mistaken. My math is very, very good.
Okay,
so let's see here.
Let's cut it in the middle. Let's take pick 172, and we're going to flip that. That's in between 134 and 187. Let's trade 172 to the New York Giants for Kadarius Toney.
Oh, my gosh. This is awesome. You're a madman. All right.
Well, here's the thing. I want to replace Deebo, but I want guys I want other people's divas. You know, let's sometimes the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
So I'm 5th rounder 172 for Kadarius Toney, forcing that trade.
Now I'm ready to draft.
Whew.
Okay.
I'm feeling it. This is a blast, man.
Okay, so we already have moved Jimmy, moved Deebo, have given ourselves more picks, picked up Claypool, picked up Toney. So now
we're on the clock on 10. And
now we're on the clock
a lot of guys there. Just best available: Jamison Williams, George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Lindenbaum. There's a lot of guys there. Olave, Jordan Davis.
Yeah,
the edge guys went. All the edge guys kind of went.
Yeah, I think I want to go. Let me see that list again from Jameson Williams on down. Let me go. Man, I don't want to take this guy here. Do I move down further? Can I move down further?
So there are 6 teams that have offered interest,
Okay.
and
How far?
this is the order. So Saints at pick 16, Patriots 21, Cardinals 23, and they get lower and lower. So the next closest, we're at
Okay,
10, drop back 6 or drop back 11 picks. Those are our 2 best options.
let's go back 6 spots
All right.
with the Saints. So
The
we're moving
Saints.
off at 10. If I was going to stay at 10, I was thinking Garrett Wilson, but now that I've picked up those receivers no longer my priority.
So if we take their first and second, 16 and 49 for our 10th pick, that's a 76% chance of being accepted.
Let's
That's
do
another
it.
top 50 pick. We're doing
Let's
it.
do it. We're doing
All
it.
right, we're going to offer this trade. Let's see if they accept it. Boom, we got it. So now we're dropping down to 16. We're going to resume the draft. We're back on the clock at 16. A lot of guys there. Drake London, Devin Lloyd, Tyler Linderbaum, Devontae Wyatt, Bernhard Rainman, Chris Olave, Andrew Booth, Zion Johnson. There's lots of studs there.
God, there
Jermaine
really are.
Johnson. This is one of the things that I really dislike about PFF. Jermaine Johnson's a top 5 player on my big board. They have him ranked 32nd. I think he's going top 10 almost locked, but he's still
He's
there.
a 1-year guy, though. That's the only thing about him. He's only done it for 1 year. So that's
true.
the downside of Jermaine Johnson. In this draft, he's still there. So do we take him even though neither you nor I feel he's going to be there? That kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance he makes it there at 16.
Yeah, let's pass on that. Let's go with the Iowa center right here.
Oh, Tyler Linderbaum. Perfect fit. Alex Mack.
Yeah. One thing I took away from the mock draft or from the presser is that Alex Mack's going to retire. And the reason they haven't announced it is because they don't want anybody to think that they're definitely got to go center. But this is the best center I've seen in years. I think Linderbaum is one of the best centers. I'm not worried about the short arms. He's not a left tackle. He's a center. His movement skills, his tenaciousness. He is a plug and play 10-year starter at center. If I have ever seen one, I'm going Linderbaum to start things off.
I love that dude. All right, now we're back on the clock at pick 20. Jermaine Johnson went right before us. Devontae Wyatt, Bernhard Raidman, Nakobe Dean, Chris Olave, Sky Moore, Andrew Booth Jr. corner, Zion Johnson, great guard, Tyler Smith, tackle out of Tulsa.
It's funny because the way they're slated there is the way they're probably going to come off the board, right? In the mocks.
Usually Arnold Ebiketie. There's some good edge guys.
I'm really debating right here between 2 guys. Okay. Really 3 guys, and they're all Georgia guys. I like Wyatt, I like Cine, and I like Nakobe Dean. Dean, I think, is a Pro Bowl linebacker, but he's short, small. Wyatt's got a great motor. There's some off-field issues there. Cine, to me, is totally dominating. I'm taking Cine.
Oh, I love it.
Cine.
Safety, an absolute speed thumper at the safety position. Very fun film.
Kid. So now I've addressed 2 what I think are kind of my most severe needs right off the rip. Now what pick are we at?
We're at pick 35, and we've got 2 picks out of the next 4. Right. So we're going to be right back on the clock here.
Let's see what do we got on the board.
Tacker Tyler Smith. George Pickens is there now. He's another one of those guys that's a diva.
He was a 5-star high school recruit.
Yeah, he's top 10 talent, injuries, and man, he's already got that diva tag labeled on him. Supposedly interviewed very poorly, but could go in the first round. Jalen Petrie, Arnold Ebiketie, the edge is still there. Leo Chenal, Nick Bonito, again, another speed edge guy. Jaquan Brisker, Drake Jackson, Josh Pascal, another Quay Walker.
I'm going Boye Mafe right there.
I freaking love Boye Mafe.
Boye Mafe is a raw athlete, but in this scheme, all Coach Eric wants is somebody who can burn the edges and get up the field, and this guy can flatten to the quarterback like nobody's business. So I'm taking Mafe right there.
I love it. So we're picking 38, but we got another pick in 11 at pick 49. Go 49ers.
Okay, so let's cruise down the board a little bit more. I'm not seeing anybody there that I really love. Let's see. Ojabo.
Jabo's still there. The injury.
Kenneth
Jalen
Walker.
Tolbert.
I'm going Kenneth Walker.
Ooh.
I'm replacing Deebo with a running back because Deebo, let's be honest, John, he's a running back. And I think a dominant running back's important. And in my opinion, I'm doing cartwheels right now in the war room. Why? Because I got the best back in the draft.
Dude, I
In
love
my
it.
opinion, I got the best back in the draft, and I didn't get him anywhere near the top of the draft. So I'm doing cartwheels. I'm loving life.
And you look at the NFL, the best running backs in the NFL currently, almost all second-round picks. This is about where they go.
Right. That's a good call. So
So
now we're on the board again. We're at pick 49.
that's correct. Pick 49, we got Leo Chenal, Drake Jackson's there, Abraham Lucas, Troy Anderson, the 49ers met with linebacker.
He to me is a little too undersized, a little too. He could be caught up in the wash.
Yeah.
I'm not as excited about Anderson.
Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver. You got Roger McCrary.
You know what? I'm going Nick Cross.
Oh, two safeties.
Oh, wait, actually, no. Don't.
We already got one.
Don't do it. I just forgot.
You got
I
excited.
have
That's
Cine.
speed.
So I got McBride sitting there too. That's intriguing. He's a really good tight end. But let's go further south of Cross.
We got Cam Taylor-Britt, Zach Tom,
he's not bad. Do I
Dylan
go corner?
Parham? We already got our center guy.
Oh, I love Marcus Jones. It's a little high. I'm going Logan Hall.
I'm going that's Logan your guy,
Hall.
Man.
Yeah,
that
I love Logan
guy.
Hall. The Niners fell in love with guys at the Senior Bowl. This guy was one of the guys. I just think for this front, if you want to play games up front and move guys around and rush the passer, I think he's going to help. And you look what you got. You got Kinlaw, who's a monster.
Yeah,
and he's going to play. So you gotta get the guys who can team with Kinlaw. Okay, so now what pick we're at?
We're at pick 93. We're picking 105 next, and Marcus Jones is still there.
I love Marcus Jones.
Kellen
I love Marcus Jones. Let's cruise down the list here and see.
Ooh.
I love D'Angelo Malone. I love Damian Pierce.
There's a lot.
Do we have a receiver yet?
Well, just the guys we got. We got Claypool, right?
We got Claypool,
and we got Kadarius Toney.
So and then you've got Jennings and Ayuk. So you maybe have one spot. I'm staring at Danny Gray there. He's definitely a speed receiver.
But
I think I'm going double Houston. Give me Marcus
Jones.
Marcus Jones from Houston. I'm going Houston, University of Houston, back-to-back picks. I love Marcus Jones. I forget the 5'8". The guy's a ball player, and he's a return guy. He's a dominant. There's some dominant traits. I know he's small, but I'm not as concerned with the 5'8". I'm more concerned with the playmaker. So I'll take him. So now I'm at 105.
And we've got about 30 picks till our next one. So I doubt any of these guys are going to be around. So
let's take a look what we got.
Tackle,
do I go tackle?
Kyle Phillips. You got some edge guys. Danny Gray's still there.
Who's the edge guy I got before?
We went with we got Boye Mafe.
Okay. So D'Angelo Malone would be nice. Danny Gray would be nice. Dubs is a nice player from Nevada. I really like him.
Romeo
a lot.
Dubs. Marquise Hayes, guard. Cordell Float, the 49ers met with, but we got our slot corner, so I think
a little too raw for me. Let's go down further.
What about Jelani Woods? This is a guy that's really high on my board.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's super intriguing. I mean,
he's
6'7". He's a massive tight end with long arms. I don't know if he can block anybody. I don't know if he's got the power. Keep cruising down there past Samir White. Ooh, I like Joshua Williams. I like Sanders too.
There's a lot of guys. This is kind of the bulk of the draft. The middle of round 2 to round the end of round 3. There are just so many guys that are almost equivalent to each other at this stage.
You know what? At this point, I'm going to go best player available. Oh, there's Justin Ross too. I'm going to go Damone. I'm going to go Damone Clark from LSU. He's not going to play for me this year. He's a second round talent. The only reason he's still on the board there at where he is, is because he's got an injury and he's probably going to miss the year. So I got a red shirt, but in my mind, I got another second round pick in the 5th. What round was that? The 4th?
Yeah, the 49ers always redshirt players that they draft. You've got Greenlaw, you've got Aziz this year. Both of them last year's of their deal. He steps right in, so you don't have to pay them both.
I like Damone Clark. I think that's too good a value to pass there.
Pick
Okay,
134. We are on
now-
the clock. Kellen Deesh still there.
Okay, now that one I like because he's a scheme fit, but I don't know
Yeah,
if I kind of like the Michigan tackle quite a bit. Let's see who else is on this list.
You got
Let's see. Pierce Strong's interesting. He's a speed back. Have we taken a back? Yeah, we have got Kenneth Walker, so we're good at
Kenneth
the
Walker.
backfield. Ooh, yeah, there's Brian Robinson. See, now Brian Robinson's way too low in this thing. Ooh, there's the tight end. You know what? I'm going with that tight end. I'm going with the Maryland tight end.
Okonkwo.
Yeah, I'm going with the Maryland tight end. He ran in the 4.5s. To me, if you're going to have a second tight end opposite Kittle, I want it to be a speed guy. I mean, 49ers, I like speed. And I think that's a guy. If you use a double tight end set and you put him on the field, I think you really got something there.
All right, so we're back on the
187.
Clock. 187 at the top of the list. Here we go.
Ooh, I love Ty Chandler, but I can't go another back.
What about Jason Poe? This is the Mercer guard. The 49ers visited with him. High upside athletic guy. Another guy that's, kind of climbing lately. I really like him out of Mercer.
Okay. I gotta roll the film back and forth on him. Let's see. Cruise down a little bit further.
Chris Paul. We don't have a tackle still.
Do I go with the best punter?
Oh, Matt Ariza. Leon O'Neal, safety. We already got one safety.
The best. I'm not a big. The more I watched O'Neal, the more I saw the stiffness in his game. I think O'Neal might, in the actual draft, might be on the board deep into day 3. That's
it's weird. They met with them twice. The 49ers did, and the whole time I'm trying to figure that out. He doesn't have speed. Missed tackles are an issue. I think he's a stud special teamer.
It's kind of stiff.
Cordell Volson.
Yeah, that's
I like
not bad.
I like Jolly too, but we already got our slot guy.
Yeah, let's see. Now it's one best player available. I do love Marquise Bell, but I've got my safety. Keep cruising down. This is go into that second page. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Ooh, Jerome Ford is sitting there. Man, what do you think of Jerome Ford? They also met with Jalen.
Yeah, Cincinnati, they were fun all over the place. Whenever you're watching them and you kind of see what he's able to do, he does a lot. Fumbles were an issue, but man, he just scores
too many
touchdowns.
Fumbles. 6 fumbles. I can't draft a 6 fumble guy. I'm sorry. That's too many fumbles. Oh, there we go. I want that kid right there. Oh, wait, is it DeMarco Jackson?
Is that who you're going for? Linebacker?
Yep.
DeMarco Jackson. Hello, linebacker, App State. Let's go get him. I love it.
Flies around. Love him. To me, you can never have enough running backs and linebackers who have instincts and speed.
I love it. Now we've got 3 picks left, 220, 221, and then Mr. Irrelevant.
Can we see our board, or do they not show you the board here?
We can scroll up and see what we've taken. So yeah, let's go through a real quick recap.
Let's go through, see what we've taken. This is
now
where you got
some fun trades because we've got Claypool and we got Toney. We traded Deebo, traded Jimmy.
Right.
We got Tyler Linderbaum, the center, and Lewis Seen, the stud safety.
2 starters right there.
Boye Mafe in the second round
is flying off the edge. Walker's running. You're probably the best running back on the team.
Logan Hall, that's a steal at pick 49.
Logan Hall. So we got our interior rusher. And then we took, I think, Damone Clark after that, right?
Marcus
Jones. So we have a corner.
Damone Clark and 105.
We got our red shirt linebacker. And
Chigoziem Okonkwo.
We got the speed tight end.
I like saying that kid's name.
I'm liking this so far. And then the last
187, DeMarco Jackson.
Okay. So now let's go best player on the board. Is Velus Jones Jr. gone?
Let's see here. My guess is yes. And the answer is gone.
He's gone. He's gone. Let's see the running back list again.
Yes, sir. Now we already got one running back, but we don't have a speedster. We don't have that speedster yet.
That speedy running back?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's a lot of good ones there.
Goodson's
a good player.
Yeah, he is. Pacheco. I like this kid out of Rutgers a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I do. He's very, very fast guy. I think he had a 4.4 40. They don't have all the stuff up on him yet, but I mean, you can see 3 years of production. He's a fun kid to watch.
Let's see corner.
Corner, yes, sir.
Corner, I have a feeling is, they're pretty fortified at corner. See, I like the kid from Fayetteville, and he's right there. Joshua Williams. He's got good size, kind of a long neck. He's kind of an interesting guy to watch, but I like him.
Jack Jones, they met with today, actually, the 49ers did.
Did they? I like Pac-12
cornerback
corners.
out of Arizona State. Josh Thompson, they've met with, too, out of Texas, which they don't play much defense there, but.
What do you think of Michael Wright?
Chase Lucas. I apologize. It was the wrong Arizona State corner. They met with Chase Lucas, not the other one. I apologize about that.
Okay. What about edge? What's left on the edge? Because we have Mafe, but you know what? The one when you can't speed up the quarterback and move him off the spot, it's game over. I do like Gunter, Jeffrey, and I love Trey Williams late in the draft. I mean, they have him way late. I'm not sure why they have him so late. What about offensive line? I probably need another offensive lineman.
We don't have a tackle yet.
Is the Michigan kid still there?
Bolston's still there. I'm not seeing. No, he's gone. No, Tyler Vrabel. You can get Coach Vrabel's son.
What about guard? Is there a guard there?
Let's see. I wonder if that Mercer guy's still there. If he's gone, yeah, he's gone. Wattenberg, he's a center.
You've been doing a lot of these. To me, the real value in this draft is probably at running back. Once you get to this point in the draft,
there's a couple guys that kind of sit there. There's
Ty
no
Chandler still there?
No, Ty Chandler's gone. When we looked at running backs earlier, the closest thing to Ty Chandler, man. He's a bigger body guy, but you can look at Zaquandre White.
They look at Jalen Warren. They worked out Jalen Warren from Oak State.
5'8", 204, little speed. He's 23 years old already.
How about John Ridgway? Is John Ridgway still there? The Arkansas tackle.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. I don't remember seeing him on the list.
D tackle. Arkansas D tackle.
No, he's gone.
How about Houston? How about the guy Houston, I think he's either he's either D end or a backer for Jackson State, maybe?
I'm not seeing him on the edge. They might have him listed as a 3-4 outside linebacker. Let's see here.
Well, what do you? I mean, to me, this is a tough spot in the draft.
I think corner is important. We haven't dressed outside corner. I think you like the guy from Fayetteville State.
Let's go with him. Let's go with him.
I think that would be. They don't even have.
Yeah, let's go Joshua Williams. He's got good size and he's the top-rated corner. I like him.
And the good news is we're right back on the clock. And so again, you still got your
back-to-back
punter there.
Picks.
Yeah,
let's go. I want the best punter in the draft. Give me a
punter in the draft. All right, let's do it.
Saving some money on the cap. Saving some money on the cap on that one. And so now we're at Mr. Irrelevant.
There we go. Last one.
Let me see the quarterback list. Ooh, there's Wanye Thomas, who I love at strong safety.
Here's you said quarterback, correct?
Yeah, quarterback.
Brock Purdy, Jack Cohn.
I like Skylar Thompson. I like Skylar Thompson. I like Nick Starkel, but Starkel they don't have in their thing. Let's go Skylar Thompson from K-State.
Love it.
He's an athlete. He's a much better. He played he's probably one of the older prospects. He doesn't have a huge arm, but if you're looking for a backup quarterback, that's a guy who's going to be.
I love it. This is the CVS receipt of mock draft results, baby. It's a long one, and I love it. You were so active.
CVS receipt. I went and got chips there the other day. My receipt was 1.5 feet long.
Yeah, that's about right, man. Every time. So we traded Deebo. We fell back at the first round, got the best center, got a stud safety. This is if I was to, let's evaluate this mock.
Right, let's talk about it.
Where you excelled, this is the meat right here. The fact that you walked away with 5 players that are starters, which is unheard of whenever your first pick's at 61. But if you can move all that capital around, Jimmy G moving around Deebo, all that stuff. Yeah, you can pick up. Golly, man, that's a lot,
Well,
and that's not
let's
even.
look at what you got there. You got Chase Claypool and Kadarius Toney stepping in for Deebo. Okay, so that's almost like a trade right there in and of itself. Then you got a plug and play center in Linderbaum, 10-year starter. Cine to me is a phenomenal
Yeah,
player. Now I don't know if he's a free safety or a strong safety. I like him as a strong safety because he's such a monster hitter. But I think he's got enough wheels, John, to play the deep, cover that deep third. So
oh yeah,
I think
he'd
I
be the
think they got an
fastest
option
person on
there.
our defense.
Yeah, he's
Easy.
he's he's a playmaker. And then Mafe is absolutely exactly what the doctor ordered because he runs in the 4.5s legitimately at 260. And I just think you put Mafe on one end and Bosa on the other end. That's really, really scary. Kenneth Walker's a great running back. I think he's the best running back they have. I think he's better than Elijah Mitchell and Sermon, though I am thinking Sermon may do something this year. But Kenneth Walker, I feel fortified at running back. Then I added to my D line with Hall. I got Marcus Jones, who I think is going to can replace K1, right? Marcus can play a little nickel maybe.
Oh, that's
Uh,
all he can play. I don't. Even though he played outside predominantly, I think he's going to be a nickel guy.
Yeah, and I'm not as worried about the corner position now that they got Charvarius Ward. Clark is our investment for next year. Okonkwo is I think a real difference maker because I think he's going to put a lot of pressure. You're going to have to cover Okonkwo with a good cover man because of the speed, and that means Kittle gets probably draws your lesser cover guy.
Man,
Or you're going to
we never got to see the Jordan Reed Kittle mix because one of them was out the whole time.
Right.
It
I
would be
love
fun to
Jordan
see
Reed.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, DeMarco Jackson is a tackling machine. I mean, he just is a tackling machine. He's everywhere. Joshua Williams gives us an outside corner. We get the punter who's a starter for us, and we get a backup quarterback. So, and I prefer Starkle to Skylar Thompson, but either one of those guys I'd be plenty happy with. So, I mean, what is the primary need that we did not fill in your mind in this draft? What did we?
Offensive tackle, that would be the one. Let's just say hypothetically McGlinchey can't come back.
I like Andrew. Is it Stuber? I believe from Michigan. Who, man, this guy loves to scrap and fight and claw. I just think that I do think he's going to be on the board in that 130 to 180 range. Maybe even after that, because I am, there's a lot of people that feel like Stuber's not going to be able to play tackle. He played right tackle for the Wolverines. Right. He was their captain. He was their tone setter. If you watch that game against the Buckeyes, they ran behind Stuber a lot. But there's an awful lot of NFL draft people that are saying he's a guard at the next level.
Yeah, the movement's rough. But for Kyle Shanahan, he wants those guys that can kind of do both, right? And so the versatile guy. So I think that he fits for sure. I don't mind Michigan O-linemen. I think they usually. I love the tenacity that he coaches with and brings, and I feel like that translates to the offensive lineman for sure.
The two guys that I wanted in this draft that I didn't get, I wanted Sam Williams from Ole Miss. I have Boye Mafe, but I don't know where Sam Williams is going to go. I think Sam Williams could go late first.
Yeah, he's got the off the field stuff too. That makes it even a bigger degree of variance. He was dismissed.
If you had to guess, what round would you put Sam Williams in?
I have a 3rd round grade on him, but I think he goes middle to late 2nd, kind of around that 61 pick. I think. Okay,
because to me, if you don't get Cine, I want Cross. If I don't get Mafe, I want Sam Williams.
Oh, I like it.
But the other guy that I really like, I think this is a really bad draft for D tackles.
Yeah.
I've hunted through every one of these guys looking to see where is the value at the D tackle spot, and it just doesn't exist. But the two guys I really like, I really like Ridgeway from Arkansas, who's did you hear the nickname that he gave himself?
No, I have not.
He's the Vanilla Gorilla.
I love him, man.
That's what John Ridgeway calls himself, the Vanilla Gorilla. He's a little bit like the guy Ioannidis who played for Washington, a little bit like Justin Smith. He's just a 320-pound good old boy that you just can't. He plays the game on his feet. You can't knock him off his pins. And to me, Ridgeway, he's kind of a bad body guy. I mean, if you look at him, he doesn't look good at all. But man, I mean, you can't move this guy out of the hole. He makes plays in the backfield. He's not going to rush Kyler Murray.
Right.
He's not gonna sack anybody ever. But he's really in a rotation. He's a try-hard, tough guy.
And the 49ers like those guys because they want somebody that can stop the run, 2 down players, and then they go their NASCAR package and bring in their 4 defensive ends. Like, they want those guys that, look, you're not getting pushed back into the linebackers. So that type of player, I think, has a big need here, especially with DJ Jones gone now. I would not be shocked at all if they address that position, defensive tackle, in this draft at all.
Last question I got for you, and then we'll let you get on with the rest of your day. The undrafted portion of this thing is obviously doesn't move the needle for the fans, but look at the 49ers and the job that they have done, John, in the undrafted portion of the draft. Azeez Al-Shaair, undrafted. Yeah. Raheem Mostert, undrafted. Jeff Wilson, undrafted. He's no longer here, but Mullins, the quarterback, undrafted. Juwan Jennings was drafted, but it was late. They find guys in the 7th round and undrafted that can make their football team. I guess if they don't go quarterback at the end, I'd be looking for Nick Starkel as an undrafted guy. I kind of like Derek Deese's kid as an undrafted guy as well. He's kind of an undersized tight end. And I love the tight end Ogletree out of I forget what school you went to, South Alabama or Alabama State, something like that. Is there any player that, as we were getting ready to start this draft here on Thursday night, that you think you will not be drafted, but man, that's the first call you would make,
Mine
after
would be
the draft?
probably Connor Hayward, Ironhead Hayward's son.
Okay.
What is he? Is he a tight end? Is he a fullback? Is he a linebacker? Is he just special teams? What is he?
Cam's little brother, right?
Yeah.
And I saw Cam at the All-Star game. I think he is a fullback. I think he's a fullback.
I'll give you a little bit of everything.
I'll give you one name that you got to check out. CJ Wright.
Okay.
CJ Wright from Georgia Southern. And he's a D tackle. He's 6 feet even, 288 pounds.
Oh, wow. He's undersized.
He's an undersized defensive tackle. I'm not playing him at defensive tackle. I want him to be this kid is so athletic. He was a high school running back. He can do backflips. He can dunk. He's a crazy athlete at 6 feet, 288 pounds. My plan for him would be take that guy after the draft, give him an incentive, some financial incentive to show up in camp as light as possible. Get down from 288 to like 275. Play him as your backup fullback, short yardage. This guy's an incredible athlete. He's maybe you could have him as like a practice squad D lineman, but I don't even think he's an NFL D lineman. I think he's an athlete. He's
better
an athlete,
football player than a defensive tackle, and you just got to find the spot for him, right?
Yeah, he's a dominant short yardage fullback. Who you saw the Ravens had those Mongo guys they called tight ends, but they're really just offensive linemen. This guy is kind of like a Mongo defensive tackle, or he's a small defensive tackle, but he would be a huge, run, lead blocker, goal line, short yardage. I think there's the one thing about the 49ers is that they really have been disappointing under Kyle on the goal line and in short yardage. And CJ Wright, check that guy out. He's an incredible athlete.
I like it.
And Georgia Southern.
Man, this has been fun, Larry.
All right, man.
This has been a good time.
Yeah, seriously. I love doing these mock drafts with you. You've done a bunch of them. What do you got planned the rest of the week? Between now and the draft, Bay Area ball. Kenneth Walker would be an animal on the Niners. But what do you got planned?
No more film breakdowns. I've got my big board set up. I've got all my draft write-ups done. I'm going to look into your guy CJ from Georgia Southern, a couple other guys that I'm just curious about. But man, I fly into Vegas tomorrow. Going to relax, have a nice steak, and then once the draft hits, it's nothing but content, man. Just for probably about 5 days straight, just content.
Awesome. Let me pay my bills here with the sponsors. Our sponsor is Telmetrics.co. If you're an orthopedic surgeon, an occupational therapist, a chiropractor, a physical therapist, Telmetrics.co is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. They use computer vision and artificial intelligence to provide a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in clinical and telehealth environments. Using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injuries, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist, be sure that you go to Telmetrics.co. And if you want your money to be handled correctly, go to Dan Coach Emilio at securemoney.com. Give Danny a call, 925-628-9966. A lot of uncertainty in our world. You want to make sure that uncertainty doesn't bleed into your retirement account. And he's a retirement planning specialist. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. John, have a phenomenal time in Vegas, man. I'm jealous, but I'm also excited for you. Is this the first draft party you guys have done in Vegas?
Yeah, the first draft party we've done in Vegas. We've done parties, but not for the draft and not in Vegas. So this would be the first one. So, and if you can't make it to this one, we're going to be throwing a party when the 49ers play there later in the season. So we'll be back at it.
Nice. Is that a Monday nighter, Sunday nighter? Is that a?
They haven't said yet.
We don't know yet, right?
It's going to be prime time though. I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. Well, hey, have a great time in Vegas. Go Niners. Thanks to everybody in the chat. And for John Chapman, I'm Larry Krueger.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah.